Welcome back to Paddy Plays, and today actually I have something completely different. I'm actually going to show you how I make my YouTube thumbnails because I'm very proud of my style and they look great and they're really easy to make, and I use a free software. So if you're looking for a tutorial on how to make awesome YouTube thumbnails, then this is the video for you. My name is Paddy, and yeah, I play games like Roblox, Planet Zoo, and a bunch of really fun games as well. This is something that was requested by one of my subscribers, someone called Martha. Hello Martha. She said, hey, can you show us how you make your thumbnails? And I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea and something really easy that I can do. So what I will do is I will make a thumbnail right now. It's for a video that I've just uploaded. So it's a real video on my channel. And as you can see, if I go to my YouTube channel studio, I've uploaded the video already. It's just finishing processing. The title is Planet Zoo Elephants Paradise Turns Disaster. That's a working title. I'll probably touch it up a little bit and fix a few things, but in general that's the title. And in the video I have a disaster when it comes to my elephants. I got some elephants, I put them in my enclosure and they escaped, and the video was really fun to make, but now I have to make a really eye-catching thumbnail. So let's make that together on Picmonkey. So this is Picmonkey. It is a completely free website that I use. You can pay for additional features in the pro version, but you are easily capable of making these thumbnails on the free version. I do pay for the premium because there's one or two things that I like to do when I make my thumbnails. But let me just make the thumbnail, you follow along and see how I do everything. So the first thing I need to do is I need to click on here, YouTube thumbnail, because it will automatically give us the correct dimensions. However, because I add a frame, I need to just do one more thing. I need to resize it to YouTube thumbnail, and it will, it's a strange thing, but it bugs out for me. When I click on this now here, this is my frames, and this is, I choose the museum matte. And this is my color for my channel, this purple, which it remembers. Picmonkey remembers your colors that you use, so you don't have to keep finding the exact same color every time. And then I click on maintain document size and then hit apply, and now I have that purple border. Because if you go to my channel, you will see that part of my brand, part of my branding and my thumbnail design is I like to keep everything consistent. So every thumbnail I have that slight purple outline. So that's what we're going to go with today. The next thing I do is I add an image of myself. Again, if we go to our channel, you can see, especially if I zoom in, you'll see a bit better. You can see that every thumbnail, I pull a different expression. My expression is there to catch the viewer's eye, draw them in, and to let them know what kind of emotion I'm feeling during this video. It's a good way to visualize the emotion in the video. So sometimes I'm very scared, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, and I just basically filmed myself pulling a bunch of different faces and then used the screenshots, and I saved them onto my desktop. So all I do is I go to my desktop and I have a folder here, and in this folder I have all of the screenshots of me pulling and the faces. Now for this particular one, I'm gonna go for, I've already kind of thought about what I wanted to do. I'm gonna use this one because I'm kind of a little bit appalled at myself that I allowed the poor elephants to escape. Because genuinely I didn't want the video to go like that. I wanted the video to be a nice, happy video. Instead, it turned out to be quite a stressful video where everything went wrong. So all I've done there is I've cropped out the left and the right. Now this is very important. This is how I turn this image into something that looks like this, okay? I'm going to click on remove background. Now you can do this on another website, but this Picmonkey has a remove background feature. It is something that you pay for, but you can do it on another website, you know, like remove.bg, I think is a good website. And then what I do is I go in and I remove the seat, my gaming chair, So what I do is I click on up here, I click on erase, I find the erase tool, I bring it down really small to about 9 pixels, and I just carefully erase using the mouse left button just around my face. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're zoomed in a lot here, which obviously no one's going to be doing on the YouTube thumbnail. I just touch up a little bit around the outside of the headphone, not too much. If you don't like it, you can just press Ctrl Z. See here? That's a little bit aggressive for me, so Ctrl Z just undoes it. And then in a minute, we'll be able to see the mistakes that we make when we add the outline. That looks fine to me. Like, that literally took a few minutes, right? Not even a minute, maybe. Then I'm going to click on the picture, and under Effects, I'm going to add an outline. It will give me this random one as default, but I will change it to my branded purple. And then the thickness, I will bring that down to 6. 6 seems to be a good one. And now we can see if there's any mistakes. It's actually looking really good, so there's not much to fix here. Just give it a quick look over. Everything seems fine. Next up is color correction, and you do that by coming over here to touch up. Click on the image, and what I do is I zoom in, because when I took these images I actually had a cut on my forehead and I had quite bad skin, so I like to use the airbrush, and I just hover over my scar, and let me zoom in a lot for you so you can really see this work. This red line here, now watch what happens when I use the airbrush. It kind of blends that away and gets rid of that clear scar. You want to be careful when you're airbrushing not to do too much, because it does look silly. In fact, I think I did way too much, so Control Z. What I normally do is I just kind of just give it a little touch up, like that. That's it, that's what you want to do, a little one. And then on my face I have these little spots. I had bad skin that day, and on my hand I have a cut. So it doesn't remove it, it just airbrushes them away, hence the name. And that's fine. The next thing I do is I brighten my eyes. This is an amazing touch up. So here are my eyes, they look quite washed out, they look quite dull. And with this eye brighten, watch this, look at the difference here. It's so great, really bright. I mean, look at my left eye compared to my right now. It's really noticeable, I find, especially in a minute when we add color correction. That looks great. My eyes are nice and popping. And then I don't do anything else. I just go to my colors. So under edits, I click on colors and I add a little bit of saturation. So watch, this is way too much. This is what happens when you go the other way. And I normally go around about here, around about 29%. You want to be very saturated, more than normal. Just seems to work better on YouTube. A little bit of vibrance, play around, scroll up and down, see what works for you. Just a little bit for me. Then you want to go to exposure, and this is where I add a little bit of contrast to the image. See here how it's changing. I like to be quite contrasted. Again, it's just part of the style I like, and it's what I want to keep uniform throughout. Okay, this is very important. When I'm editing, I'm very zoomed in for that particular part, but what I will always do is zoom out using my mouse, because I'm editing this so that it looks good on mobile. Most of my viewers, and most of your viewers most likely, watch on mobile. So if the image is too cluttered, or if the message your thumbnail is trying to tell is lost, then that's why I like to zoom out. Too much text, too much things going on, zoom out, and if you just can't make anything out, then you know it's not going to work on mobile. It's a good way to optimize yourself. Next, I kind of like being quite prominent in my thumbnail. I typically, if you can see, it's shoulders down to about kind of what you can see here. But actually, I'm finding that thumbnails like These ones, where the face is more important, are really good. So I kind of like this one, and I'll just keep it there. Now I could crop the image, actually, just so it's smaller and easier to work with, which I will do. Apply crop. There I go. So there's my image. And if I just put it in the corner, you'll find as well with Picmonkey that sometimes things won't snap. You'll need to be just a little bit careful. Actually, I can see a mistake now. You see here? You see this uneven line? I can fix that with the erase tool. There we go. And over here I saw something happening. I wasn't happy with this line again, so I'll just erase. See here? I just want to erase a little bit there. Okay. There we go. And that, I'm happy with that for now. Next, we're going to add our elements. These are specific to the game that we played and to what happened during the gameplay. And what happened is one of my elephants escaped. So I have an image here from the video. I actually found this image on Google because I didn't have a good screenshot. And you can do that. You can literally just search, depending on what game you're playing, search images and find a really high quality image just on Google. So this is going to be my background. Now down here we have the layers. So I want to push this behind me and to the very back of the image. And obviously you can see that the image has now gone over the border. So I'll just crop it in enough so that we can see that purple border. Again, that's part of my channel's brand. You don't have to do this, obviously. It's just what I like. And then you can see that the image is starting to come together. One thing that I want to focus on is the elephant smashing the mirror. And as it looks right now, it's a little bit not optimized in terms of its layout and its composition. So I'm going to enlarge it. And I'm just going to wait until it looks clear enough to see what the animal is and what's happening. And I think that's about the perfect position. So I will have to crop it again. Then obviously the background's quite a dark image. The elephant's dark. The whole image is quite dark. So I click on the image and I go back over here to Edit, Exposure, and I'm going to make this image brighter. Bring it up a little bit. It doesn't look good like that, but when I add contrast, it brings the image back. You see how it's quite washed out here? But if I bring the contrast up, I can even bring the brightness up a little bit more and even more contrast. You see? Can you see the difference now? Before it was a dark, washed out image, and now it's a much brighter, contrasted image. I'll play around with the shadows here. Too much. Just a tad, just a little bit more shadows. Okay, click apply, I should say, and then I'll click on colors and I'll give it some saturation. You can see that the greens, watch the greens. Let me zoom in for you. Watch the greens of the tree. Just pop, just ever so slightly, everything pops. The colors of the guests pop. And again, we're going for bright colors. This is a gaming video for teenagers, young adults, so we want bright colors to entice them. And now I'm going to add the logo of this game, and actually I had one from before, I forgot about that. So there it is. Then I'll click on remove background and it should just get rid of that green. Yep, it's done that. And then I can just resize it and move it however I want. As you can see, it's not popping. It's kind of looking like it's getting lost in the image. So under effects, I will add a drop shadow. I will also add a outline in black. See how it's becoming more prominent now? Now the outline is a little bit too thick. Just a little bit, that's fine. The drop shadow, you can see it's important part. So for the For the drop shadow, I think I'll increase the intensity. And oops, I accidentally unchecked the outline. Inner shadow, we'll just add a little bit of shadow to the inside, but it's not part of the logo itself, so I'm not going to do that. And I might rotate it slightly. Again, using this, you can rotate. If it's not snapping into the perfect place, then you can use the arrow keys to very carefully move things into the perfect place, whether it's text or anything. So I kind of like it like that for now. Zooming out, I'm happy with how it's looking. Next, I normally add text. This one says Tower of Hell. This one doesn't have anything at the bottom. This one says my first pet adopt me. So I do want to go for text. And I'm just thinking on my feet, because I normally make these thumbnails in this short space of time. I've done a lot of the hard work beforehand, picking the style, picking the thumbnail design style, taking my images. I'm just trying to think what I would write. I think for this particular thumbnail, text might not add anything. I think it's quite clear what's happening. Personally, I think this particular time, less is more. I'm gonna reference this thumbnail, my Fall Guys video. I just had the logo and what was going on in the game and me, and I really liked that particular thumbnail. And when I see this one, I feel like the story is pretty straightforward. I can't believe what's happening in Planet Zoo because the elephants are smashing the windows. Okay, I'm gonna add one more element. I've decided that I'm not gonna use text. I'm gonna search for an arrow, and I'm thinking maybe, again, in Picmonkey, you can come up here in graphics and search for something that you want. And I'm thinking that a simple arrow, something bold, easy to see. Potentially this one, if you can adjust it, because it's very thick. Yeah, potentially this could work. Just again, this is just like such simple storytelling, but just like, it's an arrow that says, look over here guys, can you believe it? Can you believe it? And then I might change the color of that to like a red. And I think a couple of exclamation points will work well on this one. I've used a few before in the past. I think I used, which one did I use last time? I think I used this one. Potentially what I could do is turn these yellow. So go to effect, go to the adjust, change it to yellow, add an outline just to help them pop. Outline, make it black. I tend to think 6 is the best number for an outline. And then we can just play around with these. I'm happy with that. It's quite a simple process, as you can see, but I think in this grand scheme of things on my channel, it will look good. And again, you've got to remember the key things is telling the story. So if I take the last Planet Zoo video, you can see that I have the logo, so you know what game I'm playing. You can see that I'm very angry, and you can see here why I'm angry, okay? And then I use text, hacked to death. It's doing well, it's doing okay. I'm a small channel, so I've just started a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, my gaming videos are just starting. But I'm happy with that. I'm just noticing I want to make this just a tad bigger, more emphasis. Yeah, now if it's central, it's a bit in the way. If it's over here, it's just right. I feel like it's just right. Just a tad smaller and a little bit up. Using the arrow keys just to find the perfect position. And then zoom out so you can imagine what it looks like on mobile. Looks good to me. It's a simple visual story, and along with the title, it will complement each other and work really well. You can see my eyes, my skin tones popping, Planet Zoo is popping, my arrow is popping, my exclamation points are popping, and we're making people look at the drama here. Now, I would love to make the elephant brighter if possible. So I'm just gonna go into effects, edits, exposure, and I'm just gonna try and brighten up this image. I've selected a different image here. If I can just bring this up even more and add more contrast. I feel like that just popped it a little bit more. Okay, I'm done. If you like that video and if you enjoyed this tutorial, let me know, because I would love to make a full tutorial on all of the elements and effects and textures that you can do. This is just a simple gaming YouTube thumbnail, but there's so many other things you can do. So if you would like to see that, a more in-depth Picmonkey course or tutorial, just let me know in the comments. And if this was useful to you and your gaming channel, please like this video and support Paddy Plays, and go watch this video. I'll link it down below, because it was very dramatic. Oh my gosh. Okay, the elephants escaped. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, Martha, and everyone watching. Thanks for recommending making this video, and I'll see you in the next video on Paddy Plays.